My name is Zoe Altenburg, and my boyfriend, Zack Hennessy, has FA. And so I actually am the one who got his family involved in ride ataxia. My parents are really big cyclists and stuff. And so I remember when I came across this event, I was like, oh, we got to be a part of this. And it's been fun to be a part of it and meet lots of people and, do some bike riding too.
So when it comes to the ride, who makes up Team Hennessy?
Me, my girlfriend, my mom, sisters, two of them. My aunt and uncle, some of my friends, some of Zoe's friends, some of my friends' parents, because I've known, some of my high school friends for a long time. So they are definitely invested and have known me for a long time. And yeah, those are the main people that are part of the team.
When you guys first met in person, did you know about FA?
I'm pretty sure the first thing I said to him, I was the one to message him first. And so I had just had knee surgery. And so I asked him if he wanted to hang out and not do anything active. And then I'm pretty sure the second thing I asked is, why are you in a wheelchair?
So he was in a chair in one of his photos.
Yeah, he was in a chair crowd surfing at a music festival.
Why do you think that you guys all participate and get excited for the ride?
I think going on a bike ride with all your friends and family is a great time, just anywhere. And I personally like flat rides. I grew up in the Berkeley Hills and I hated riding with my parents because it's always uphill at some point. And so going out to Winters and doing that, ride that you can cruise along and it's beautiful. And then of course, going to Berryessa Brewing afterwards, it's a big highlight. I love the community aspect of it and, feeling like you're not alone in having FA and battling, all the hardships and stuff. Because I think Zach's family is incredibly strong. And I think I probably have more, emotional stress about it than they do. They, are the kind of people who can kind of accept what it is and keep moving on with their lives. And so I think it probably helped me a lot too in my relationship with Zach and learning to navigate, what the disease means and trying to find a community that understands it as well.
Can you think of a specific moment that sticks out to you during one of your experiences at the ride that's like either funny or really difficult, or was there a specific time?
Yeah, the first one. So, I signed up and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be no deal. Like I'm pretty strong. And obviously I had never done a hand bike before. Like I'd done it a couple times. I rented one like for the day. I thought I could do 23 miles, no problem. All right, did it. It was kind of a problem. I was out there for a long time. I was out there like 2.5 hours, something like that. It was hell because it got hot.
I'm sorry, at like what mile were you like, oh my God, I messed up?
I think it gets a little bit uphill once you make the loop. So once like it's the circuit's like a circle, right? We started on the second half and it was a little bit more uphill. I was like, ah, man, I kind of messed up.
If there was somebody who was on the fence about going to a ride ataxia event, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd ask them why they're on the fence, because it's not just about riding. It's about the community, it's about the ride, it's about the snacks. It's about the food afterwards and the beer afterwards and, the event afterwards where we talk about everything and the photo booths and stuff. And so I think that there's something there for everyone. If someone was really on the fence and felt intimidated to go to the event, I would tell them to reach out to you, Kyle, and talk to you and just get some inspiration from you and feel more comfortable that everyone is, really caring in this community. And it is scary, but it's less scary when we go through it together.
I've talked to like a lot of like parents and family members, but not a lot of partners to people living with FA. I was just wondering if you could speak to that, because it feels to me like such a different thing.
I think one of the biggest challenges is that he has slowly, FA is progressive. So he started getting symptoms and they slowly got worse, and he had time to kind of accept the change, as opposed to someone with a spinal cord injury. It's like one day their life is completely changed, and it's a huge adjustment to just, have your life flipped over upside down. And I think with FA, you have more time to adjust and kind of accept a little bit, like, okay, this is what's coming and whatnot. And so for being his girlfriend, it's been challenging for me, because for me, it is something that was just thrown into my life. And I started dating him, and as we got to know each other and, learned to love each other and care about each other a lot, it still is hard to navigate my emotions with the disease and my emotions with how he deals with it. It's a type of grief, and you have to grieve these things. And so sometimes it's really challenging when I'm grieving them and he doesn't really understand because he's already accepted it.
As far as the research and progress towards a treatment and a cure, just get your perspective on that. How do you see your efforts contributing to that directly?
When I see all the research being done and all the papers about it and all the the trials that are being done, when I see that, when I see the results, then I actually know like it's making a difference. For me, actions speak louder than words. So when I originally got to UCLA, I was hearing like, trials were, 2 years away, 2 years away, 2 years away. Like, oh, it was always 2 years away. But then, when I actually, got into a trial and was seeing that other trials were being started at other locations, then it kind of, made sense to me that, this does work and this is making a difference, and we're getting the word out, and we're promoting by giving pharmaceutical companies funds and all that stuff.
So a few years ago, I did research at UC Berkeley in the Doudna lab. Jennifer Doudna is one of the pioneers with CRISPR technology. Mm-hmm. And so I worked with someone who was doing research on Huntington's disease. And so I got kind of this inside view of the progress with, finding a real cure for genetic diseases. And it really showed me how much work goes into research for these potential therapies. And then once you find something that could potentially work, you have to do mouse models, and then you maybe, if that shows efficacy and safety, then you can move on to human trials. So there's a long ways to go before that, I think, could really happen. But at the same time, it's an amazing technology, and I think that at some point in the not too far future that we will be able to have a cure for this disease and all the other horrible genetic diseases. But I think that there's also a lot of other, treatments and therapies that are being researched. And so I think there is a lot of really exciting research that is on the forefront. And I do feel really proud that I get to be a part of an event that raises money that goes towards that research. And in some ways, it feels a little grim. It feels like there's hope, but it's so far out of reach. And in other ways, I think that there's a lot going on that's more in reach that at least can be helpful, hopefully in some ways.